That was DAMWON game versus Afreeca game number 1. Afreeca fell to DAMWON Gaming even after they brought the World Elites Mystic Ban duo back on the lineup. So, first let's discuss the pick and ban. As expected, Ezreal is climbing up the tier list here in LCK. Even when Affiliates was opened, they just let DAMWON to take it, and Afreeca took Ezreal. And DAMWON, with a very simple style, they went with a very secured comp, Rek'Sai and Syndra. And they also, Afreeca, let them take Taric and took Karma into this comp. So besides taking Kennen as the opponent of Aatrox, well, Afreeca took all the counter picks up against DAMWON's laners. So Afreeca should have had more lead in terms of laning phase around mid and bot. So let's check out some of the highlights where DAMWON players were able to snowball throughout the laning phase. Lee Sin was camping the Raptor camp over here in the jungle. This was the perfect timing for Lee Sin to make a gank in mid lane, but instead, Dread moved over to the Wolf camp. So it was a very unexpectedly, very defensive play coming out of Dread. Keen had a very outplay in topside in the very early phase, taking Kennen with him during the turret dive. However, rest of the Afreeca players weren't able to produce any lead during the laning phase. So Echo was trying to make a trade over there, but it was not a big pressure for Syndra. Rather, Syndra was able to get the better end of the trade. So maybe Kassadin was a better pick instead of Echo, because Afreeca players were way too defensive and passive. So with this winning lanes, DAMWON was able to win the game. And also, when Nogri fell down, actually DAMWON was able to get the Baron in a very early timing. So DAMWON was really smart, utilizing around the strength they got in this game. So they were forcing the Afreeca players to kind of focus on defense, and they were having a great macro all over the map. It should have been Afreeca putting a lot of pressure around mid and jungle and win lane with Ezreal and Karma, but the story went the other way around. DAMWON overcame the losing matchups and they executed the laning phase so well. And this is the highlight where DAMWON gaming players were so good at coming in for a beautiful collapse on Afreeca players. Well, Mystic was stuck in mid lane to clear out the wave, so with this some kind of sandwich formation, they just collapsed onto the DAMWON gaming Afreeca players, and that AoE damage coming out of Affiliates was able to finish the remaining Afreeca players. And DAMWON Gaming was really cautious in terms of rotations. They always stick around the vision that is secured by their side. So with that very cautious and also very active game coming out of DAMWON Gaming, they got game number 1. Let's check out who got the POG in game number 1.
Player of the game. Showmaker.
Great introduction from Wadid. Showmaker picked up the POG on Syndra. He was putting so much pressure in all the laners on Afreeca's side. He also made a solo kill when the players were trying to kind of compete for the dragon. This is the highlight that I just mentioned. With this outplay, DAMWON was able to kind of accelerate the lead. And very early build on GLP, well, Syndra was secured with higher mobility and utility. Showmaker picked up all 9 votes for this POG. which means that his performance was on point.
네, 결국 아프리카 입장에서는
Afreeca
상성 라인을
has to figure out how to capitalize the winning matchup during the laning phase.
다각도의 변화가 필요하지 않을까
Otherwise,
하는
someone
생각이 듭니다.
just like game number one will able to overcome the matchup. So let's check out whether they can make it or not.
Thank you, Ji-sun, once again for the awesome translation of the analyst desk. Good news, your English casters were not fooled this time around. We were exactly correct.
I do believe that we went to the ship.
We went to the ship for sure.
And what we did is we brought Spirit back with us.
Oh,
From the ship.
Only Spirit?
Much like Return of the King, Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
You remember that? You brought the spirits
Yeah.
from the ship.
Yeah.
And
I see.
They said halt, but their accent it was a little weird, so it was actually hoit.
Hoit!
And then a lot of people started getting a little jelly.
Yeah,
so.
they're like, you jelly?
Yeah. So that's exactly what went on there. And
Thank you for the rundown.
I'm really glad that we were just able to break it down.
That's why we hired you, to break down the nitty-gritty of the analysis. So thank you very much. As you're going to be hopping into pick ban again. I've been doing a lot of these pick bans in a row.
Yeah?
This could be the last one. DAMWON looked very dominant in game one, but Afreeca came out extremely flat. So maybe on blue side they can come in here with more of a fire and try to take one away from DAMWON. We were expecting both series today to be even, and so far it's been nothing but domination, including earlier.
Yep. Domination wins games.
Domination? Like DAMWON? Domination?
Domination wins games. DWG. Get with the times. All right. As Afreeca banning Senna and LeBlanc now on blue side, even though they could first pick Senna. And honestly, from seeing Senna, she might be winnable with this Neo support monstrosity.
There's so many options.
Frankenstein thing going on down there in bot lane. And DAMWON now, they're going to have to decide, do they want to ban Soraka or Ornn? Last time, Soraka made it through the entire pick ban.
You are correct. She made it all the way through. From B1 to R5.
Yes.
Taking a bit of time here is Afreeca. Third ban needed. It will be Zoe. So they say ban Ornn or we will take it.
And will they do? Now, Set is also open. And we know that Korea does love Set.
True.
They have...
There are a bunch of LSs.
Yeah. I see what you did there. You wove that in.
Yes.
I just want to point out, by the way, that DAMWON's jacket this season, it is exquisite.
Pantheon.
Pantheon gets banned. Ornn is available. Will Afreeca take it? And they will.
Ornn and then Set Braum. What do you think?
Why would you
You think the Valdanalist has got it?
Or will they Soraka?
Soraka Braum? They don't have to Braum yet, but we can see if they are going to pick maybe even Soraka Set, maybe flex a Set. It's going to be Set and
Set
Yumi.
and Yumi picked up, so this is threatening to also have Soraka on R3. And that's the deadly combo.
Can't you just Soraka into Set top lane and then
Send Ornn mid?
Ornn
You could.
mid? Yeah.
That is a thing, Valdez. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
But they might just go Kalista Volibear.
They could do that in bot lane. Trying to go for Lane Kingdom.
Kalista has a pretty horrid win rate so far.
Yeah. Not doing too well. And Nautilus is actually going to be selected, so not the Volibear.
Yeah. A couple of big boys there on the side of Afreeca.
Yeah.
Ornn and Nautilus already.
And let's see what DAMWON ends up doing.
There's no priority between these two teams on Soraka. They just do not want to play Soraka. As Syndra gets locked in here again, I mean, after you get 9 out of 9 on the player of the game, and you played pretty well into something that is supposed to do well against your champion, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
It's blind pickable at the same time.
The thing that is interesting about this is that Ornn can obviously go mid, and we've seen time and time again that Ornn can sustain. The Karthus ban is acceptable in the sense that Ornn can give Karthus death cap. And so even though normally Karthus wants 0 AP present on his team, Ornn is sort of an exception in that he gives Karthus so much extra damage it carries him over the resistances and lets him itemize in a very unique way. Not that you can't have small tidbits of magic resist, but you really don't want your opponents eyeballing a Hex Drinker.
Yeah.
Like it's a pastry, you know? Yeah. One of those things.
That's actually me. I love pastries.
Do you like them?
Yeah, big fan.
All right.
I went to Ukraine one time, actually. That was where I had the best pastries I've ever had.
Really?
In Kiev.
Okay.
Big fan. I'm sure there's probably at least one viewer out there from Ukraine. Shout out to you. We got fans from all over the world watching the LCK. Lots of junglers being targeted down here.
And let's check what is going to end up happening on R4 as Olaf did bite the dust along with Trundle. Are we really going to see like a Sejuani or something?
Rek'Sai.
Stop.
Hey, Canyon's Rek'Sai wasn't bad. You called it, though. Oh, why'd you have to say it?
I can't.
Why did you have to say it? I'm losing my mind.
The 4 days will do it to you.
Now I know what it's like.
Yeah.
You have to do 5 days in a row for 3 weeks.
For 3 weeks, yeah.
And then I stole a couple of your days.
I
just
might be set
walked
for
in.
5 next week.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Don't know yet.
We'll have to wait and see what happens with Egypt.
Yep.
Hopefully we can get that guy down to cast with us. That'll be a fun new addition.
He's coming from the south.
Oh!
Yeah.
What if he goes south, like, through Antarctica and then up through the, yeah.
Joke's on you.
Does that count as down?
Doesn't exist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it does.
True, right, I forgot.
Now,
Yeah.
okay. In this draft, Jarvan coming in, which is very bizarre because DAMWON wants you to sit on top of them. And now Kale as well.
Huh.
This is so disjointed. There's not even Ornn items that are really present on Afreeca. You have Blade of the Ruin King.
Yeah, that was the only one I was thinking.
You have Black Cleaver if Jarvan goes it. But okay, you have Quinn ADC against Kalista.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have Quinn ADC with Yuumi.
Okay. I mean, she is going to be so unbelievably fast.
Yeah.
But generally you see that from the top lane, but with the Yuumi that attaches to the
Now,
AD carries,
the
kinda
really interesting thing about this Quinn-Yuumi dynamic is that when Quinn goes to roam, brings Yuumi with her.
Yeah.
And so it's not just Quinn and Valor, it's Quinn, Valor, and their pet cat. So it's actually...
Is Valor like the...
Valor's the bird.
Yeah, I know,
The
but like...
hawk or whatever.
Cats eat birds, and they hunt birds, so how does that relationship
Yuumi hunts
work?
Cats. Or Yuumi...
What?
Yuumi hunts birds.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. That's why her book floats. She chases them into the sky.
Yeah, so what happens between the two of them if, you know?
Yuumi chases Valor, and that's what makes Valor
And then
move
Valor...
so fast
Oh, okay.
to the opponent. And then Yuumi eyes up the opponent.
I see.
Thinks that they're looking a little like a snack. And then
With
they
two
all...
C's?
Right.
S-N-A-C-C.
So that's exactly what's going on there.
That's how I felt about those pastries.
Yeah. Kale, Jarvan, Ornn, Kalista, and Nautilus.
Talk about engage.
Let's see what they can do. Because it is a massive amount of engage, but also a very disjointed sort of early game trying to be coupled with late game scaling, and it's really all over the place. You don't sort of know what you're biting into. This is like one of those mystery Tootsie Pops.
Oh no.
Yeah, we don't really know where this one's going.
Not a fan. I was gonna make another comment about pastries, but I'll hold on to that one. I think you guys have heard enough.
Wait, what? We had a graphic error.
Did we?
Well, Nuclear is bot lane with Yuumi.
미니언 생성까지 30초 남았습니다.
So, Nuclear's bot lane with Yuumi on
Okay.
set. So, now Nuguri is on the Quinn up in top lane. So this is really interesting. So, in the last couple of months since the changes to Yuumi, Garen has actually been cutting at the gym. He dyed his hair. He actually changed races as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he paid the $20 to do that. And
What?
now he has renamed to Set as he's back reunited with Yuumi
Ah, okay.
in the bot lane.
Great. Okay. The reunion happens again. Fleet footwork. It's gonna be nice for Sustain in the bottom lane as a melee AD carry. I'm not sure about this one against a Callista.
Yeah, and also Keen with the fleet footwork up there against Nuguri on the Ignite Electrocute Quinn. This lane is going to be a Nightmare Spirit trying to set things off right with a level 2 Sin Gang.
I love what Hoyt does there. Goes in and autos, pulls them back.
Yeah.
The melee minions so that the gank can't exactly get off here. So he's just going to go straight in, and he's spotted on a ward immediately. So DAMWON have so much information already.
And Canyon just doing red into blue as Hoyt actually going over and trying to just annoy a little bit. What is going on? Cromp going to be taken by Spirit now as well. Oh, Hoyt.
Oh. Found a snack in the jungle.
Can Hoyt reset the patience?
Oh, keep running.
Oh,
Nah.
did not manage to actually get it.
They're not sure if
But
he's in the brush, but
still made Spirit spend so much time. And so the jungle really slowed down. Kale's going to die on this game.
look at this massive wave that Nuguri has set up.
And the weird thing here is if you're Keen, you can't even auto the opponent. You will take way too much damage from the minions.
Canyon with the Aftershock is going to get out on the backside. He's got one CS, and he's going to miss
Yeah.
some of this. He's going to miss the cannon at least.
Now,
Really unfortunate for him.
interestingly, they can't do a repeat gank because Sejuani is missing too much HP. But this is just already a massive victory for DAMWON. 20 call stacks as well, already completed. And bot lane, they are finding some success on this Callista and Nautilus here against
For
Set
sure.
and Yuumi.
That was the real question about this, and part of the reason why we didn't exactly expect Set to come down here, because, I mean, you're up against an AD carry that can harass you out and an engaged support, so if you get too close,
The
you might die.
very strange thing that I'm curious about is Nuclear is playing it so safe. Let's take a look at this again. Remember, I said you can't really auto the Sejuani because if you do, all of those spellcaster minions will just start hitting you as well. So you can't do it too early, trying to soften them up to get a higher chance because you're going to lose so much HP.
Yeah.
And if you do it before they hit you, the minions just completely tear you apart. Now, the thing that I'm questioning down in bottom lane is Nuclear has fleet footwork, Goron shield, his red pot still available, and a Yuumi with heal, exhaust, and teleport, and for some reason is playing so careful despite set sustain. It's so peculiar. You have to wonder, seeing him play this bot lane, if this was a really last-second decision pivot.
May just have been. I wouldn't be surprised, because we got fooled by it. And this is what happens when he does get engaged upon, but he's able to trade back a little bit at least. As we did have the Sejuani making her way to the top lane for a failed gank, as now Spirit's up here. I believe he might be spotted. No, they pinged out the ward. Now they're going to move over here, 2-on-2, forming up, getting the autos down onto Spirit. Snuggery just looking for a trade as it's 1-on-1 and another 1-on-1 as no crossover actually happens.
Canyon cannot be asked to leave this brush.
And neither can Spirit, apparently.
And yeah, Snuggery.
Lol.
Just checking, they will clear out that ward, but Spirit might take a detour into...
He's still here.
Nice caster synergy.
Yeah.
Lovely synergy.
I knew you were going to make that sound, so I was preparing myself. He's still here.
He is, he's waiting.
He's going to find, okay, he's got level 6 Showmaker too. That was edging up, but it doesn't exactly pan out, so they're just going to take out the Scuttle Crab. No harm, no foul. DAMWON's still sitting pretty here.
And what we're seeing in mid lane is sort of the problem. Syndra with the heal, staying as long as she is in this lane, but can't really move Ornn. Ornn is just so tanky that Showmaker, basically the way that Ornn wins this lane is by playing an economy fight. He doesn't try to actually beat Syndra straight up, he tries to beat Syndra's mana bar.
Yeah.
And if Ornn manages to do that while staying at 40-30% HP,
yeah,
he succeeded. And he'll end up being able to accrue CS advantages, which he does scale much better than Syndra. Syndrar, you like that?
Syndrar.
Syndrar.
It's the competitor to WinRAR.
Yeah.
나 그냥 계속 받아올게.
So tournament realm 3 or 4 on the left-hand side. As... I can't! Oh, man.
Oh, boy. Today's just a silly day.
Today is a very
really
funny
silly
day of
day.
League of Legends.
Oh, boy.
As we're going to still see what is in store for us. Night's not over yet, Valdez.
No, we got some time.
Yeah. And honestly, Keen has done such a great job at recovering in this lane. All things considered, he's only down right now 8 CS maybe, and we're going to see how much he gets from this incoming minion wave. Or an ultimate.
It is going to hit them both, but no real follow-up. Spirit's only level 5, so no hope of a Cataclysm or anything like that. Fly able to lock down the blue buff for his team at least. Are they actually going to consider taking down Shelly here? It's on Vision. Quinn did back, and they actually have rotated, so yes, in fact, they are going to go for this play. It's like the new lane swap meta. The bottom lane comes up to the Rift Herald fight, and then they go top, but in this case, they're not going to go top, in fact.
And now...
Oh!
Canyon!
Get dunked.
Yeah.
That's what Canyon has to say. Spirit, do you have flag and drag?
Yumi's
No, you do not.
bloodthirsty.
Oh boy, that's a sad moment for Spirit. I've been there.
In comps like this, I actually really like when the supports get the kill, when they're a mage or an enchanter.
Oh, and they might even kill Keen here. He's got his ultimate, but can they outlast the time? The Ignite was ticking, but they're not going to overstay their welcome. We got this zoom in on Hoyt. He's got a couple of stacks on his Dark Seal, so it's not half bad.
Yeah, Yumi will end up probably getting Mage Eyes later on.
Just buy it now.
Yeah.
Just go ahead.
That's Morello that she kicked off. That's my cat.
What's going on down here?
A lot of minions. Well, that's the collective raising a turret.
Yeah. Oh,
Figure no action's
nice.
going on. They're gonna do it themselves.
Solid 659 smite. That's not good enough. You gotta get it lower. Canyon had the patience to wait. So Canyon, the younger player of the two junglers, has the quicker fingers in the straight up 1v1 between the junglers, so shout out to him. pulling that off. Might have a bit of an engage here as the final chapter comes out as, what was that? I do not know what that looks like, but either way, it is going to be the kill onto the both of them. And guess who's getting the stacks? It's all about that little cat. He's going to pick up another kill.
You know, I was just talking about how I really prefer seeing the mage support or the enchantress support get the kills, because once they complete their gold item, they don't typically keep accelerating that quickly, but by getting kills, they do.
Yeah.
They come online that much faster. Yuumi now at 5 stacks on the Dark Seal, at a pretty close point to just being able to turn it into a Mage Eyes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with 5 stacks already, and you're pretty far ahead in the game, I think there is an argument to be made to buy it even early, especially because there's already been a nice amount of action.
Yeah.
Just the pacing of the game, you could see, 2, 3, 4 more kills coming in. I don't want to cast a cursor.
Yeah,
don't. Waving that gloved hand, I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's listen to the doc here.
Well, the thing is that for Afreeca, the Kalista is not accelerating at a pace that she would like. She still does have about 10 CS a minute, does have a couple of plays.
Little dive down here with a grit as Nuclear with the Yuumi is going to pick up the kill. Yuumi here.
Spirit?
And she do it. Spirit is going to live. And White is going to zoom. He's not dead. Okay, finally he goes down. I was about to lose my mind if the Yuumi was going to 1v3 under the turret. Does go down eventually. And so a nice little dive there from the side of Afreeca, getting a couple back.
Ends up being a 2-for-1, but minion waves and turret plates going to be lost in top lane, and that was also the teleport. So the really disjointed thing here is you can see that Kayle currently stuck in a Build-A-Bear workshop with the Seeker's Arm Guard, the Fairy Charm, the Vampiric Scepter, Corrupting Potion. You don't know where Kayle's going or when. And Ornn doesn't have Ornn items to build except for the Blade of the Ruin King. Nautilus not going to really have an Ornn item either. So everything is so disjointed. What? I don't know what just happened there.
What is that?
Yeah.
Did he try to suplex the Nautilus who got Fates called midway or something?
Well,
I mean, that's the only explanation I can think of.
나이스!
야 얘도 잡자 따라와봐
그렇지.
아 레드 평타
꿀공 왜 빨리 안 했누? 아, 나 그러게? 아니, 내가 말해줘야 하네.
나이스
약간 세트
You gotta auto with the red
아,
buff.
긴장했어? 아, 오케이.
But apparently someone did not, as we missed a double kill here. It looks like Showmaker is looking for a second play of the game. Picks up a couple.
yeah. And they have the Infernal Dragon as well. It looks like they should be able to raise one more turret plate against this Ornn. At minimum. Will depend, obviously, on how Fly wants to play it. Abyssal Mask already completed. Really unsure why Canyon and Showmaker did not just walk up. Ornn does have ult, and so I guess they're respecting that maybe Jarvan was around, but...
Awkward spot for Canyon, but he's moving forward. I think he didn't see the Jarvan.
Or did he?
Will he survive? Was it a big bait? All in the end, he is going to go down. They trade 1-for-1. Syndra in a really awkward spot here. Should just be burst down, but has the heal.
Phase rush!
Oh, he is going to go down at the end. The flash having to be used by Fly. Can Afreeca turn it around? Taking a look at Mystic as the suplex comes in, but Nuclear is going to try to run. You cannot run against the Kalista. That's the last thing you can do here, as he's just going to be rendered to death, and a triple kill goes the way of Mystic, turning this game on its head.
And that was an ace. I mean, it didn't say ace, but because Sejuani did end up respawning, but this game is so wonky right now. Let's take a look at how this all transpired. Jelly and Mystic randomly trying to get the right-hand side Scuttle Crab for no reason. And Showmaker just there to pick them up and punish. And this is what's so weird. Oh, actually did not see Spirit.
He didn't see him,
So he thought this was just a one-on-one on Takeen and probably wondered where the hell did Spirit just come from. As Showmaker missed the combo on Fly to get the stun. Ends up healing combined with Phase Rush, but eventually brought down by Fly's Flash and Pillar. Nuclear gets the kill onto Keen and then tries to rejoin the fray, but not able to.
And you have to stay there and try to fight because, I mean, it doesn't happen too often in the LCK, but when you're going up against a Callista that is doing quite well and is kiting you down, you're not going to be able to do much, you know? So, as we can see, they are going for a bit of a dive now on the bottom side, but trying to help out here is Jelly. Nice little knock-up, but Mystic is going to go down. Trading for the Quinn as they do lock it down. Here's Fly, Showmaker in tow. Point, I'm not sure about that. He went out of the guy as Showmaker now zoned out a little bit. Nuclear tries to trade it back. Awkward spot for Showmaker, but he is able to knock him back and deny the ram.
So this is a really unique thing that a lot of people don't know about on Yuumi, but going inside of a teammate doesn't break turret aggro, because obviously that would be abusive.
Yes.
So when you're still within turret range, simply by entering a teammate does not break the aggro until Yuumi herself has exited it. So a bit unfortunate. Maybe Hoyt not even aware of that interaction. Not totally, well, probably aware of it, but maybe not in that exact moment.
Yeah, in the moment, there was so much going on that he just got dunked underneath the turret, unfortunately. And now we do have the Mountain Drake up here. This has been a game that we don't really focus on the Drakes too much. Notice there's only one Drake that has come down, but Afreeca this time really wanting to pick this one up. And it doesn't look like DAMWON really want to collapse onto this one. They're moving north, and Quinn is backing. So this will just be the Drake taken down, and a Cloud Soul coming up next.
And at this point, Kayle has hit level 11, has the Gunblade, still on the Seeker's Arm Guard, no boots either for her. And I do think that Fly is building Frozen Fist, so definitely a bit of a letdown. It's not going to be the Sunfire Cape.
Yeah.
And let's just take a look at this. Honestly, Nuguri starts this off not very clean and ends up blocking a lot of the turret aggro. Jelly able to help out with that. And then pay attention to this. Yuumi, her ultimate's still going, and she ends up dying just by the skin of her teeth at the very end there. 440 true damage, tickles one. As Showmaker pushes them out of the way.
You gotta be careful about this. You're gonna be locked down by the Gunblade. They're actually trading it back. And will they hunt him down is the question. Nuguri not quite going to focus on that one. And it's not quite the Quinn ADC, but the same thing still stands where you get the Yuumi to go on the back of the Quinn, and her map presence is just unbelievable.
So this is the awkward part of the game where the set has a black cleaver, and he's also behind in levels to what a traditional set would be. And so even though there's the Yuumi there, Yumi's purpose inside of the team comp is more so focused obviously on Quinn and Syndra rather than the set. So with the ornaments coming in, and also Afreeca having been the one that picked up the Mountain Drake when they're the ones that build all the resistances, it feels really rough. As even that little bit of armor boost helps out so much against Nuguri's lethality build.
It's absolutely the case. They're looking for a potential play up in the top lane. You're not going to outrun this. Canyon over the wall. Is Ornn tanky enough? Perhaps not with Canyon, but actually Nuguri had to flash away. They're not going to be able to kill Fly on the backside. He survives, and the dive will fail. Really unfortunate that Nuguri felt he had to flash out that early, and they're not able to secure the kill.
So this game is even in gold. 10-10 is the kill score.
One dragon apiece. As they're going to try to burst down Mystic here. Should be able to do that quite easily. Not sure why he was there by himself, but it's hard against a Quinn who collapses this fast. As now she's going bottom lane. Nuclear is just kind of a sad panda in this game. All by himself. He lost his support. It's like in solo queue games where the support just leaves you alone in like a bad laning phase. I'm gonna help the mid laner.
And Cloud Soul being the Drake of the game is not super big. Although on Kayle and on Ornn, maybe it can do some stuff because you have to stack up 3 of them. And if you end up tapping on CDR, that is pretty scary as, yeah, Quinn flashing out, not getting enough damage, and Fly just barely living.
Yeah. Imagine not banning Ornn in 2020.
True.
I'm a truer.
I can tell that you're a truer. This game is chaotic.
It's good. We have 21 kills.
We have
in 21 minutes.
Yeah, they definitely want to go.
Oh,
yeah,
I see. I see.
Yeah, versus always fighting.
Okay.
Yeah.
It works.
It really does.
It does.
We're weaving this in here.
Alrighty then. Going over the wall here onto Nuclear. They get him knocked up. But at the end of the day, he's able to just flash to safety. Keen, he is getting scarier by the minute. Approaching that level 16 mark. He's level 13 now. And Nuclear cannot lane against this guy. Just for a reference here. So if that lane continues the way it's going, he's not going to have a good time.
Yeah, Kayle is reaching her endgame stage. Now, I'm really curious if Kayle is going to go Nashor's Tooth. I think all things considered, given that there's some magic resistance on the side of DAMWON Gaming right now, that maybe just going Trinity Force and getting the Ornn upgrade would be better. Not entirely sure. This is one of those really weird spots on Kayle.
Yeah. Not everything is as plain as whether or not to go Morello.
Yeah.
Which, in our opinion, is pretty plain most of the time.
Math isn't.
Exactly. Okay, trying to go 1v1 here. Keen has his ultimate. Spirit's nearby. And the TP's coming in. Nuggery is going to be burst down. And they cannot get the damage. Nuclear, again, is just not able to do anything in the back line. And everybody is rotating now. That's going to be 3 kills over to the side of Afreeca. Nothing he can do. As Sejuani was calmly doing the Wolves over here.
They just really underestimated how tanky Kayle is and how much sustain she has.
Yeah.
So, definitely a bit of a blunder. DAMWON, they really punted this game away after the early game, and it all started with that one ace that ended up happening.
Yep,
so,
one play at the Rift Herald.
Yeah, that one play. At top river. Keen comes in, you can see Spirit not quite there. Has to go over the ledge. Nuclear not in close enough proximity either. Fly even joined the fray. As Nuclear gets brought down shortly thereafter. All the kills going over to Kayle, the exact champion you would want to give the kills to. And it is going to be Nashor's Tooth.
Yep.
For her.
Triple kill in that fight for Keen. So he's getting real close. He's level 14. He's having a good time in the side lane. And the set Yuumi bottom lane has not impressed. If they kept their streak going and they continued to get ahead from the early game, I think we might have been telling a different story. But that is not the way the game has gone. They got to be so careful about just head-on engaging, too, because Afreeca has read them every single time and overpowered them, outnumbered them.
The other strange thing here is I think that the amount of resistances on the side of Afreeca, Black Cleaver third on Quinn would probably give her more penetration for her lethality than continuing to just go into the pure lethality items. We get a fight.
Well, they hit Mystic in the back with the stun. Doesn't necessarily work out. Trying to collapse now, but Nuggery not in the best spot. He has the flash. He will be able to get out of there, but the death charge will be enough, and Kane is frontlining as Nuclear, not sure about this one. He is going to get a huge amount of damage into that backline, but the fight was already over, basically. DWG getting a bit desperate, trying to force fights, and it is not working out for them as Afreeca have their eyes set on the Baron.
This is extremely scary for DAMWON. It does look like we're going to go to a game number 3, because even though there's some disjointedness in this Afreeca team composition, their primary late-game scalers are online, and then due to all of the kills as well, Kalista has quite a few items herself.
Oh.
Canyon not going to be able to steal this, and even if he tried, Rend on Kalista. Still lost out to Spirit, so that's impressive.
Yeah. Maybe they decided to press the button at the same time. Have they caught Fly here? Nautilus is nearby, so the answer is no. Cinder considering it, but now with Baron, Afreeca have taken the lead big time. The Horn items are coming online.
See Nuguri, I don't know what he was hoping to achieve there, but he just gets bopped immediately as Knock-Up City there on Nuclear. Not able to really just do a lot. The team composition has really lost its stride, and the only hope still remaining for it is Syndra. But with the QSS on the Kalista, the Ornn being as tanky as he is, Jarvan, Stone Plate, looks like Deadman Plate gonna be next. There's just so much going on. So combine that with the Kayle ultimate, the Kayle healing. Showmaker just not gonna be able to do anything this game, and this is a very big roller coaster that I think has just been coasting for Afreeca for the last, like, 8 minutes or so.
Yeah. And this is, I suppose, what we expected out of this series. We expected it to be even, maybe not to go in this manner, where one team gets ahead for 1.5 games and then says, here you go, you can have it, and gives the win over, but we should be going to a game 3 here. We'll see if DWG can try to come back in this one. I mean, we're still far from a Cloud Soul, which, again, is not going to make the biggest difference, but we've seen shenanigans with split pushers before, especially with Nuguri. He's done it on Rise.
Yeah.
And with how fast Quinn is, you know, the game is not over, even though it looks pretty dire right now for DWG.
Yeah, the only Hail Mary in this game for DWG is exactly as you said, a pure backdoor by Nuguri against Afreeca. So see if he can manage to pull that off. Kayle is in her final form. She has hit Super Saiyan level 2.
Super Saiyan 2. I know all about that.
I've
I've seen all the animes and the mangas.
Let me test you. Let me test you really quick.
No, please don't.
Who is
Android 18.
Kakarot's rival?
Kakarot? Is that the other name of Goku?
You are passing with flying colors right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I remembered that at least.
All right.
I knew it started with a K.
Do you know who the rival was?
Vegeta.
Valdez.
Wait, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah. We're getting there, boys. Split push is in full effect, as we have expected. I think at best this will turn into maybe some chip damage onto one turret compared to 2 inhibitors. That's really all that DWG can afford to get right now.
And Nuguri not even able to raise that bottom inhibitor turret. And now, the other unfortunate thing is that that's the next wave.
Oh, they're fighting here.
Okay, well.
Canyon in a bit of trouble, but he's pretty tanky. They're looking for Showmaker. They say he's the carry. He doesn't have his flash anymore. Does a nice amount of burst damage, and they take him out. Zed is in the back line as the fight will happen, and Quinn is nowhere to be found. Split pushing alone. Can Canyon and Yuumi try to stop the push is the question. They're trying to kill the minions, but super minions coming on in, and rended to death is going to be the answer. Nuguri a little bit late to the party, and it's not really going to help out here. It's going to be burst down by the Callista, doing their absolute best to take him down. See you later. The double kill goes to Keen. And that will be the end of this one. GG, we are going to a game number 3.
So they tied up the series after what was looking like a dumpster fire of an early game for Afreeca. They pulled it back on the back of that ace that occurred in top left side river. So credit to them, the Kale pick eventually coming online, and really DAMWON's team composition just started decaying. The set ADC didn't pan out probably as much as they anticipated, and I really do think it was a last-minute pivot, given that the way that they were conducting themselves in the laning phase was
Hoyt.
so bizarre. Yeah, Hoyt apparently just being subbed out.
Yeah. Seems like they're having a pretty in-depth conversation. Hoyt and the coach. He didn't look too happy, so feel bad for him. Honestly, I don't think it was his fault or anything like that on the Yuumi. I think he had a pretty decent game, but it is what it is. They have 2 top-level supports, and Beryl has played more, so I don't...
Yeah.
Actually, Hoyt has played more. Now that I'm looking at the stats, so I'm actually totally wrong, my bad. Hoyt has played more games, but they are going to put in Beryl now. Yeah, and I feel like... welcome back.
I am
Good timing there. That's
really curious on why they would just sub him out immediately after one game, especially because I don't think that he was the reason at all that that game
No, absolutely not.
went awry. As, take a look at the damage, the set was just a non-factor. So, Yuumi was a pretty big contributor to the early game, getting the stuff going early on. Was also just really sad. You can really see the point at where stuff eventually got brought back. And we'll see if Afreeca can actually manage to pull it back all the way.
Yeah, it's going to be a big question as the music has taken over. We'll go to the break, and when we come back, game number 3.
보자 이거.
잘 눌러줘.
천천히 보자 이거. 세주부터. 세주 돼?
야 이거 뒷드라 뛰었어.
빨리 오프리야. 세트 너플.
세트.
세트. 세트. 바텀이야.
쭉 가자. 팀 맞다.
쭉 가자 이거. 쭉 가자.
들어가면 미드 슈퍼미니언 와.
탑라인이야 이거. 탑라인 들고 올게 이거.
야 세주 풀 쓴 거지. 세주 높을.
핀 뚫는다. 핀 뚫는다.
타워 얘들아 타워.
옆에. 갈게.
나이스.
끝내자. 핀 온다. 타워부터 딸 빠지 말고. 타워. 위에 타워.
타워 마저 깨자. 나이스.
죽여버리면 안 돼?
죽여 죽여 핀 높을.
나 죽여봐. 한번 띄워줄게. 나 죽여버려 둘 다. 세트로 죽여 그냥. 나이스.